Hello and welcome to a new video, and as you can see, it's of a mystery parcel. Now this is the final part of my unboxing of items that I got from Music Magpie. Now, so by the time this particular item uploads, you would have seen the three other items. Now Music Magpie were doing a deal where you get through 4 Blu-rays for £5. Initially I was picking up the sequel to Fantastic Beasts, which was at £1.99, and as part of that deal, you could get 3 other Blu-rays, which would make it £5 for 4 Blu-rays. And luckily, they had the DC movies as part of that range. Now, as I've said in those other videos, the reason why I'm rebuying them again is because I do have my steelbooks, and I want to take very good care of them. I don't have the intention of selling those particular DC movies anyway, but I don't want to do any further damage, especially after finding out, obviously, with the James Bond GoldenEye Blu-ray steelbook as how much it was worth. And I have to keep taking it out, and and unfortunate things can happen where you accidentally damage something and then it dents or it scratches or rust. So luckily, a few of the DC movies were part of that promotional deal, so I decided to buy those secondhand. The Aquaman one, which was the first one I did, was actually brand new, which I was surprised about. The Wonder Woman one wasn't, which again doesn't bother me because I'm just using it to watch it. This one I know what it is, and it's actually one of my favorite DC characters, so you probably worked out which character it actually is and probably what movie it is. So we shall take the movie out. Hopefully it's giving me the right one. And it's of the Man of Steel, and this is the 3D version of it. Although I am consoles that are capable of playing 3D movies. Although I do not have a 3D TV, and I think they've stopped doing 3D movies now. Probably the cinema, I probably still do it. It's more of the 4K resolution of in the movies, or IMAX as it is, depending on what cinemas you kind of go to. But the 3D seems to quickly dissipated. This was the first appearance of Henry Cavill as Superman. And this movie, I can't believe it's that long ago it came out. And Man of Steel also came out in 2013. The movie was directed by Zack Snyder, screenplay by David S. Goyer, who makes something because he did the Batman trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, in terms of writing it. Story by David S. Goyer and Christopher Nolan, and was produced by Charles Roven and Christopher Nolan, Emma Thomas and Deborah Schneider. The movie stars Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Michael Shannon, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, Lawrence Fishburne, and Christopher Meloni and Russell Crowe. The movie release date was June 10th, 2013 at the Alice Tully Hall. Don't know where that is, probably in America somewhere. June 14th on 2013 in the United States. The movie runtime is 143 minutes, and the budget was between $225 to $258 million, and the box office was $670 million. Now, what did I think of the movie? I absolutely loved the movie. It was nice seeing Superman in terms of his strength at his full potential. Although we would see the full potential in Batman vs Superman. And loved the costume as well. It looks really great. Henry Cavill, I thought was really great. All the other actors in it, I think, were great. Michael Shannon as Zod was really great in it. And especially coming from me, that was, again, as a big Superman fan, firstly with the comics, and then obviously with Christopher Reeve as Superman, who was the first Superman that I saw. I know obviously that with the younger generation, it will be Henry Cavill. Although obviously we've seen the different TV screen Supermans and Clark Kent, obviously with the George Reeves and the actor before that, and obviously Smallville, Lois and Clark, Superman and Lois, so and then Superman in the DC animated movies, voiced by the different Hollywood actors, and also Superman had his own series. There was the Fleischer cartoons, the DC Unlimited, the DC Unlimited, the Justice League Unlimited, and the normal Justice League. So he's been in various different amount of media throughout the year. So I've loved Superman. Man of Steel again. The action in it was absolutely brutal. Obviously, there was controversy with the end fight with Zod, with obviously that with Superman not supposed to be killing. Well, technically, in some things he kind of has, but yeah, and the Man of Steel absolutely loved it. And there were kind of some down points where I wish we kind of had the dual personality of obviously Clark Kent. Obviously, we know that him as a journalist. I did like the idea that they didn't touch too much upon the origin story because we already know it. They did a different take on Clark and how Lois eventually works out that Clark and Superman are one of the same person. But in terms of the intensity between Clark and Lois, that's still there. Lois being a journalist is still there. There was no Jimmy Olsen, although it kind of was in Batman vs Superman, depending on which version of it you kind of watch. But then that was a little bit disappointing. Obviously, some of the Superman's a lot darker. Obviously, Superman, again, we don't see too much of Clark Kent. Again, they didn't know I'm taking it. I do like the idea of him traveling around every time people discover who he is, and that's how Lois kind of tries to works out who he is. Again, the action was kind of was great. The story I absolutely loved. I just wish there was more of the Clark Kent stuff, which is what we don't see. And again, the destruction of it of all great. Obviously, Superman is not completely like that in terms of it's meant to be more joyful and with more hope. But then that's Zack Snyder's kind of take with his movies, especially if you watch like Watchmen and Sucker Punch and some of the various different movies that he's done. So it's kind of not really a surprise as to he's taking it a bit a lot darker. And I know obviously with the new Superman movie coming out now, there's a lot of Snyderverse fans that are upset that Henry Cavill isn't going to be coming back. Although we thought he was, because obviously his cameo in Black Adam, which I know about because that was spoiled. But yeah, and I'm one of these ones where, yeah, I am disappointed that it's a shame that Henry Cavill didn't get to carry on, especially when we thought he was coming back. And yes, am I disappointed? Yeah, obviously, because I thought he was a good Superman. But at the end of the day, obviously, you're going to have a new regime coming in. They're going to have their own take, especially going to make the character younger, a different take on it. Again, I'm really hoping that David Cornsweet is going to be great in it. So I'm going to give him a chance like I do with everybody's, even like with a different James Bond. Again, for me, as a Superman fan, it's just, for me, it's always the comics initially where Superman came from. And then obviously with the big screen Superman, as in Christopher Reeve, is where I fell in love with the character of Superman on the big screen. I know we've had the small screen with Superman on the TV show, but for me it was without the big screen Superman with Christopher Reeve, we wouldn't have the big screen Supermans on the big screen at the moment. So it's a tough act to follow, especially with Christopher Reeve, who for me was to see my Superman and Superman Grove. But regardless, I love all the actors, whether it's the movies and the TV shows, who have played Superman. I've loved everyone. All of them have got their own different take and look on the character. So yes, at least he did do a couple of movies, and yet you get to keep these movies forever as long as you're alive and keep the medium. But yeah, I'm not too hung up where I'm gonna protest and say, oh, I'm gonna boycott the movies until they bring Henry Cavill back, because realistically, it's not gonna happen. So you're gonna be realistic and hope that the new actor and the story and the movie does a really good job at portraying Superman, which is the most important thing in my book, is portraying a good Superman, and that's all you can ask for. And maybe I'm being a little bit biased as being a massive Superman fan, so that's just my take on it. People are entitled to their own opinions on who their favorite is and who they do and don't like, or whether they choose to boycott or not. But I am going to be seeing the new Superman film by James Gunn. And from what I've seen of the sneak peeks and the teaser trailers, and also there's gonna be a new trailer coming out at some point before the release in July. I like what I'm seeing of the movie. So as long as I'm entertained and we get a good Superman and a good Clark Kent, a good flowing story, good villain, then I'm gonna be happy with that. So again, as I said, this was part of the 4 for £5. So again, I've already explained why I bought it. I got the 3D edition, even though it could be a bit pointless for me. So far, the condition of it looks in actually really great condition. Doesn't say too much about the actual movie, which is weird. You normally say something, and it just says Blu Ray 3D plus Blu Ray plus ultraviolet. To watch this 3D version of the movie, you'll need so you need a 3D HDTV, which they don't make anymore. My one doesn't do it, even though my TV is nearly over, just under 20 years anyway. Compatible 3D glasses, my lord. A Blu-ray 3D player or a PlayStation 3, which I already got, and a high-speed HDMI cable, which you would need anyway because the PS3 is HDMI anyway. But yeah, it doesn't say anything about the movie, and it says this pack includes the 2D version of the movie and playable on your standard Blu-ray player. And some of it I'm still gonna have to read because obviously the main movie. The movie is rated 12. I would have loved to have known if there were deleted scenes in it, where, for example, you know, if there's a possible what do you want to call it, free director's cut version, which I would love to see, you know, like they would have done with like what they did with Batman vs Superman. I love seeing director's cut or extended cuts as they call them. The main feature is presented in 2D and it's 1080p high definition. And it's really hard to read. It's 16:9, so it's 2:4:1. HDM master audio English 7.1. So if you've got 7.1 setup or a more modern setup, then you're gonna be in for a treat. My one is a 5.1 DTS, so it's over 20 years old now. Dolby Digital Catalan Spanish 5.1, and I can't recognize if that's French. So I think it's French 5.1, and English 5.1 Dolby descriptive service, subtitles English, Catalan, and Spanish, Finnish, Dutch, and that's definitely Finnish, and Norwegian and Spanish. And it says obviously the movie is presented in 2D and 3D depending on what disc, and the movie is 143 minutes, so that's just over 2 hours and 23 minutes, and it is rated 12, which contains moderate violence. And the disc obviously is falling out there, and I'm pleasantly surprised that it actually has artwork on it, which, if you've seen the Wonder Woman, by the time this would have uploaded, you would have seen the Wonder Woman unboxing. I'll send to what they've done on that, and at least they've put some form of artwork on this. You've got the Superman symbol there, which is great. You've got the the 2D and the 3D version of the actual movie itself. The disc looks in fantastic condition, so I'm happy about that. Again, I love my cases to be in good condition, but considering that I'm just using these just to watch it, and then my proper versions are the steelbooks, it wouldn't have bothered me too much. And that's the 3D version, which is absolutely useless. So yeah, this is so you've got a bonus here of having the unboxing and the actual review of the actual movie as well. But yeah, again, as I said before, I am going to miss Henry Cavill's Superman, but I do have my memories with the movies as well, twice. So I'm really happy about that. So this is Man of Steel, the 2D and 3D edition of the actual movie. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to share your friends and family. Also, if you can give this video a thumbs up, I would highly appreciate that. And this is because of the YouTube algorithms, which favor the bigger YouTubers, so their channels and content get put on a YouTube recommendation page. so that will allow people to find my channel and my content. Now, if you like stuff like this and you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. If you want to see Blu Ray unboxings, Blu Ray Steelbook unboxings, my Blu Ray and Blu Ray Steelbook collection, along with my limited edition DVD collection. I also did a video on a VHS movie, and that was the first Back to the Future movie, giving you a rundown on the history of the VHS and what it was the format before DVD, and my history with that particular movie. Although initially when it came out, I never owned Back to the Future 1 on VHS. Eventually I did have a copy of it, which I recorded onto VHS. Back to the Future Part 2, which I do have, I was donated that as well, and Back to the Future Part 3. I will be doing videos on VHS videos on those and telling you my history of those. With Back to the Future Part 2, I did have that movie on VHS, my own copy, but the one I'll be showcasing on the video is not my, or isn't my original version of it. It's the one I've been donated. And I will be going into the history of, especially with Back to the Future Part 2. Part 3, I never initially owned it on VHS. Again, I had a recording of that, so keep an eye out for that. Also, I'll do video game unboxings, video game playthroughs, movie and TV show reviews and recommendations, food and drink reviews, clothing pickups, comic books, new comic book releases, DC and Marvel. And I've been absolutely loving, again, pardon the pun, the Absolute series that DC have been doing, where they've been doing alternate takes on some of the DC characters, and they've been slowly been wheeling out new characters as part of their Absolute series. Been loving the different takes and the origin, the new interpretations of the origin stories and the artwork as well, which has been absolutely fantastic. I've been doing the videos on there, so give those a look on my YouTube channel. Again, I've got my comic book collection, which I've been collecting over the last few decades. So you can check those videos out. I'm going to be continuing to do my collection of those comics. Also, comic book graphic novels, comic book statues and figures. Please check out my Superboy Prime unboxing video from McFarlane Toys. It's an absolutely fantastic figure. Really articulated character in terms of the movement and how you posability and the colours, the detail in it. Stands proudly in my bookcase. If you're somebody that's a Superboy or a Superman fan, or a DC fan, or even a superhero fan, definitely recommend picking it up wherever you can. It's a fantastic figure. Again, I do have some figures that I'll be showcasing, which I've got Christmas just gone, January sale, previous Christmases and previous January sales, and also previous birthdays as well. And also my friend donated to me some statues, which some of them you've already seen, and they will be DC and Marvel, so keep an eye out for that. Accessories, whether or not it's gaming, mobile phones, laptops, etc. Gadgets, and this could be anything. I've got some film memorabilia stuff coming up, which I will give you. We'll give you a clue. It will be Back to the Future related. I think you're absolutely going to love it. I think I've already said food and drink releases. I've already said beauty products, whether it's bath salts, shower gels, body washes, which are probably the same as shower gels, aftershaves, and any other stuff that are beauty related. DIY products as well. I've done some electrical appliances where I've done a microwave, 2 VAX products, which one of them, well, technically it would have been free. The first one I had to return, and one of them is a carpet cleaner, which I did for a few years ago, which I need to do a review on that. I will say it's going to be a really positive, it's actually going to be a good review and a detailed review. And also the vacuum cleaner as well, which again is going to be a in-depth review of it, because it's actually pretty good, because these things are very expensive. Well, not very expensive, but expensive, so you want to get your money's worth. So I think what else I do. Art books as well. You would have seen me do the Black Panther Wakanda hardcover art book, and also the art and making of Pacific Rim Uprising, and that's a hardcover art book. Again, it's a fantastic art book. Both of them are fantastic. Huge discount from Forbidden Planet. So if you're in London, in central London and in Holborn, please check out Forbidden Planet. They do some sales on certain items. Sometimes the boxes can be damaged, or they're just getting rid of certain art books, and you can get them dirt cheap. So sometimes the art books can be £30 to £35, and they're selling them for £2.99 or £5, which is an absolute bargain. And I do have some other art books that art books that I have in my collection, which I'll be showcasing. Some of them I've already done from years back, and again there will be video game, movie, and TV show related. So keep an eye out for that. I'm trying to see what else that I do. But yeah, and I do a monthly vlog, which tells you what I've been up to for the current month and what I'm up to next month. Rant videos when they deemed appropriate. YouTube shorts as well, and I tend to do follow-up reviews of products as YouTube shorts rather than doing a long-winded video, so it's easier to digest. So I do that. Also, I pre-ordered the Nintendo Switch 2, the Mario Kart World Bundle. Again, a little bit disappointed that it's a digital, but then if you buy it over here, because in the UK over here, it's about, to get it, it's $4.29 to get the Mario Kart Bundle. And if you get the Switch 2 without it, it's £395. And obviously with the bundle, that's £429. Again, I know in different parts of the world it's different. I know in Canada and in the States, as of today's date, which is the 10th, the pre-orders have been cancelled because of the so-called tariffs. So hopefully that will be fixed, so people can purchase it. And I know the console's expensive, the games are expensive, but we had that with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, with the games going up by £10 or $10. Even with the PS6 and next console, they're going to go up. Then if you take into account microtransactions, which you can do without, or DLC, story, add-on story packs or season passes that release, games go up in price anyway. So, and then plus it's going to go down the digital route. So I don't know, it's just the way it is. I might do more on stories about the Nintendo Switch digital cards, which I know people have got uproar about, which to me, for me, it's a mixed thing. I can understand it from one side, and also so I will maybe do a video on that. Maybe do it as a YouTube short, giving both sides of it and how I feel. And so I'll be doing that. So hopefully in June, we should be doing an unboxing of the Switch 2. And expect to have lots of videos on it, and video comparisons between the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, whether it's the console, the Joy-Cons, and the dock and things like that. So expect lots of comparison videos. So there'll be lots of content in terms of the Switch 2. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm able to get that. For me, it's going to be a late Christmas present because the Switch 2 will come out a month after my birthday. So it's a birthday treat for myself, for example. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the console, despite all the problems and misinformation that have been about on social media. So I tend to stay away from that. So yeah, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I was going to say, Christmas 2023, we hit 500 subs. Early 2024, we hit 600 subs. And now, as in the 10th of April, we've hit over 800 plus YouTube subscribers. So a big thank you to all the subscribers, old and new. And we really appreciate all of you that have subscribed to my channel, whether you're a long-time subscriber or recently subscribed, or maybe you haven't subscribed, so please consider subscribing. So again, without you guys, my channel wouldn't be where it is today. If there's any questions that you need about a particular product, then please feel free to ask, and I will do the best I can in answering. Hopefully we can get to 900 subscribers, and then hopefully the big 1,000, which is my big target that I will hoping to get to sooner rather than later. So maybe by the end of the year, maybe next few months, who knows. So again, big thank you to all of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also have a Twitch channel. To find me on there, same name as my YouTube name. So add the numbers 76. I will put the link in the description box in case you can't find it and wish to subscribe to me, or follow me, should I say, on Twitter. I don't have a set schedule on when I live stream. This is because of health issues and other personal stuff going on in my life. So it's hard to have a set day and times of when I live stream. So for me, it's a day by day basis when I can and can't stream. When it's certain games that don't have copyright music in it, I do try to export them to YouTube anyway. So again, if you can, give me a follow on it. If you can't, then that's fine. On the rare occasion, I'll live stream on YouTube. It will mainly be casual gaming, so it'll be beat 'em ups, shoot 'em ups, platform games, sport games, things like that. Nothing too strenuous, so it'll be casual gaming. Even if you do miss the live streams, the videos will be kept up indefinitely, so you can watch it when you have the free time to. Although it would be nice to have some live viewership on the videos, but if you can't make it, then that's fine. The videos will be kept up so you can watch it. So hit that notification bell on the off chance that I do live stream. And it's pleasing to say, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe. And I will speak to you again in the next video. Bye for now.